Are you looking for some great indie podcasts to listen to? Check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com, where you can find a list of great indie podcasts, get links to their official websites, and even listen to some of their episodes without needing to create an account or log in. Here's an example of one of the great indie podcasts you can find on Pod Nation.
Hi, I'm Polly Altman.
And I'm Jessica Thomas, and we're from Quick Bites.
Quick Bites is an educational podcast where we each pick a random topic to research every week.
So you can learn without having to read.
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And on Twitter and Instagram at Quick Bites Pod.
You can even send topic requests to quickbitespod@gmail.com.
Tell your friends. Quick Bites.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Better Than Robin Hood.
Hello, dear.
Hello dear, how are you, Fran?
I'm alright.
Well, I am Pete. I am great. I am good. All things are right with the world. We've watched a Star Wars film that isn't complete shit.
It's alright, isn't it?
It's one of the good ones. I like it a lot. We today watched Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, and now I know why it's Revenge of the
Now
Sith.
you know why it's called Revenge of the Sith. And why
there's a Sith in it.
there's
and
a Sith in it, and he takes his revenge.
And he is evil.
He is pure evil.
He is kind of cool, though.
Oh, he's the best. But we'll get into the discussions of such wonderful things as Emperor Palpatine.
Yes.
Because we have other important business to take care of. Firstly, we need to think about our ratings.
Right.
So we need to get on with some true crime.
Okay.
Yeah, before and after that, we'll listen to one of my tapes from the archives.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss Revenge of the Sith.
Righto.
And then we'll call a popular figure from history.
Did you have a good week, though?
I had a very good week. Did you?
Yeah. Fell off my bike.
You fell off your bike, so not a great week. You also had a cold for most of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was one other thing, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Fell off my bike.
fell off
Smashed your phone.
Oh, yeah. You dropped a glass on my phone in a branch of Nando's, and now my phone is in for repair.
I know.
So bad luck comes in threes.
Well, that's all free, isn't it?
That's all free. Nothing
Yeah.
else has happened.
No.
And you've had a nice walk on the beach
Did have
today.
a trip today.
Yeah. We went to the beach at Mersey Island. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, it was lovely. Beautiful.
Beautiful day. The sea was like a mill
head
pond.
down there.
You can if you want. We're not there anymore. So, yeah, firstly, we've got to consider the ratings. So, let's get the true crime section going.
Okay.
True crime section. True crime section.
Where is Madeleine McCann?
Oh, I don't know. No comment.
True crime section.
Yeah. Anyway,
Who cares? Yeah, so I've been going through, the archives of movie memorabilia that I have, and I found another one of George Lucas's secret recordings.
all right.
And he met a very powerful person, a Disney executive, very high up in the corporation. And it seems that this may have been the point where he decided to sell Star Wars. So
Really?
let's listen to this.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, hi, Mickey. Thanks for meeting me here at the opera.
A real pleasure, George. Ha-ha! What can I do for you? Ha-ha!
Well, people are being real mean about my new movies. They're saying I've ruined Star Wars.
Aren't you making a whole bunch of money? Ha-ha!
Well, yeah, but I want to make things people like. They loved my old movies, didn't they? And I made them.
You did?
Well, of course.
I thought other people did it, and you took all the credit, like we do at Disney.
Wait, you don't make the movies yourself?
Of course not, you fat dumbass. I'm a cartoon mouse.
But I did make these movies. and I think they're good.
Good is a point of view, George. Ha-ha.
What do you mean?
Sometimes you need to give things time, and people remember them differently. Ha-ha.
I don't understand.
Sure you don't, you smelly old fool. Look, was Pocahontas good? Was Hercules?
Oh no, they were either real bad or slightly racist. Or all the way racist like Dumbo or Song of the South.
Exactly. But given enough time, people forget, and they just remember an old cartoon. And who doesn't love a cartoon, right? Did you know in my first ever cartoon, Steamboat Willie, I murder a prostitute and throw her into the river? Everyone just forgets and thinks it's a nice cartoon with everyone's favorite mouse. Ha-ha!
So if I wait a while, the kids who like them now will grow up.
And they'll remember them as being good, even if they're a confusing mess with special effects that look like a PlayStation 2 cutscene. You know, there's something else we can do. Ha-ha.
What? Tell me, I'll do anything.
You could sell Star Wars to me.
Why would I do that?
Well, once the dust has settled on this prequel's dumpster fire, we'll crank out some new movies that will be perfectly entertaining action movies, just like the originals were, but that will feature women in positions of authority.
All my movies have women in positions of authority.
Well, sure, but for some reason I have a hunch that in 2017 that's going to drive a lot of people on the internet wild with rage. Then they'll start to pretend that they like the prequels, just to be contrarian.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think I want to keep milking this cash cow, Mickey.
What if I gave you $4 billion?
Oh.
And what if we let you change the cantina scene so that Greedo shouts, McClunky, really loud?
You'd let me keep pointlessly editing the original trilogy?
Well, sure. You've got to do something with your time. What else are you going to do? Make a terrible movie about black fighter pilots?
Well, that does give me an idea.
Once more, the mouse will rule the galaxy.
Well, that was...
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah, secret meetings. Things going on behind the scenes in the corridors of power.
Alright. Who
Yeah.
knew Disney was naughty, eh?
Disney, yeah, perhaps they're the Sith, not the Jedi.
Maybe.
I guess we'll never know.
No.
No. So, we watched a film. A
Yeah.
Star Wars film.
Yes.
Called Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. What would it get on Rotten Tomatoes?
It has an 80% critics and 66% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Alright, yeah.
80% from critics.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it only means positive reviews. 80% of them are positive. And
Alright.
I would give this film a positive review. It's by no means perfect.
No, but it's good. There's
Oh,
a
it's-
bad, there's
but
good.
yeah, it's by no means bad either.
There's some
Yeah.
creatures in it.
There's all sorts of things happening.
Space.
Things happen. Scenes occur. Events unfold.
It's all very good.
Yeah, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It is directed by George Lucas. It stars Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Ian McDiarmid, Christopher Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Frank Oz. Went back to being a massive box office success for the Star Wars franchise after disappointing returns for Attack of the Clones. It made over $800 million at cinema release and remains the highest box office opening for a Thursday. It was the highest grossing movie of 2005.
Woo!
Woo! George Lucas and his children have a cameo in the Opera House
see
scene.
them.
Oh, you could just about make out George Lucas, but you got to know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea for the final fight scene was inspired by the novelisation of Return of the Jedi.
All right, yeah.
There's a scene in the book where Obi-Wan's ghost tells Luke that he threw Darth Vader into some molten lava.
Oh.
And lo and behold, that's almost what happens in the film.
But if it's his ghost, that means Obi-Wan Kenobi was killed in the books.
He was killed in the films. In A New Hope.
Oh, yes.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. There was supposed to be a 10-year-old Han Solo, but thankfully it was cut out of the movie.
Oh, right.
No one needs to see a Han Solo child.
Han Solo. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No one needs to see
no one needs to see that. And Gary Oldman was supposed to play General Grievous, but he backed out as George Lucas didn't work with the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh.
And I imagine George wanted to undercut everyone's fee.
Probably.
In fairness to George, I think he has always operated on he gives them a cut of the profits rather than giving them a fee.
What, like instead of paying them a salary, he
Yeah.
just gives them a cut of the profit?
Yeah.
But what if the movie bangs and then you're like...
Well, it's a Star Wars film at this point, it wasn't going to.
Oh, right, okay.
And when he made A New Hope, only Alec Guinness demanded a flat out payment. All the others got a cut of the
Yeah, but
lovely
you'd rather
proceeds.
want it cut, wouldn't you? 'Cause
Well,
that's
yeah,
more
you do
money.
now, but at the time, Alec Guinness thought the film was going to do badly.
Oh.
And he lost out on lots of lovely money, whereas Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and all the others did very, very well.
Yeah, so that's not good, is it?
Mm.
Are you single? Are you divorced? Co-parenting? Married to a ghost pirate? Are you in an open relationship with a sword swallower and a jouster at the Ren Fair? Do you loathe dating because you never thought you'd be single again? Do you find yourself mindlessly swiping on dating apps only to stumble into people you already know or already slept with? Well, sit back and relax and grab a cup of coffee and share a laugh or two with us. This is Why I'm Single.
Please look for Why I'm Single wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, don't be a douchebag.
So, Fran, would you like to describe the plot of
Okay.
Revenge of the Sith?
I paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, where shall I start? What's the opening scene again?
There's a space battle.
Oh, yeah, space battle.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who was in the space battle. But anyway. Basically, Luke Skywalker.
No. Luke Skywalker is
Oh, God, he's the child, isn't he? The baby. Anakin Skywalker and Padme are still in love. They got married, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back from the battle.
What happens in the battle?
Some people shoot at some people.
And is there a rescue of anyone?
Oh, yeah, they rescue, obviously, the Sith.
And his name is...
The Sith. That's what I know him as.
He is a Sith, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Is Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, yeah, the Emperor. All-knowing, all-whatever dancing man. The bad man, anyway.
He is bad, yeah.
So they go and rescue him. Thanks for pointing that out. He comes back, old Anakin Skywalker, with everyone else and the Emperor. And he sees Padme in the corridor.
Beautiful Padme.
And she goes, I have a present for you.
It's quite a prominent pregnancy bump.
I am pregnant. That's what she says.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's lovely. He's very happy.
He is.
Although he takes a second or two for it to sink in.
It's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose my job.
And then, so she tells him that, blah, blah, blah. Basically, then, he has these bad dreams. Like, she's going to die. Padme's going to die. So he decides that he needs to do something about it.
Yes.
So he is good at this point.
Yep.
And
despite wiping out tribes of sand people, yeah.
oh, well, he did that for a reason, didn't he?
Because he was angry.
Yeah. But they took his mother.
They did rape his mum.
Yeah, too right. I'd be like, go for it.
They didn't have to kill their children. That seems a little extreme.
I don't know, though, because if some of the children survived, then they'd be like, right, we're going after him.
Yeah, if someone raped my mum, I like to think I wouldn't kill their children.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit overzealous, wasn't it? But
that's all.
anyway,
Yeah.
now I've lost my train of thought. So he decides to do something about it. And he gets persuaded by the Sith that the only way to save her... Basically, loads of other stuff happens at this point, but I can't remember what it was.
There is a lot of political discussion.
Yeah. But anyway, basically, he's like, I can help you, Anakin.
I could help you, Anakin.
Yeah, with his little smug face, isn't he?
Yeah.
And basically, Anakin turns evil.
He does.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi fights him in this molten lava planet.
Yeah.
And Padme's there.
She is, yeah.
She basically takes Obi-Wan Kenobi to Skywalker.
Yeah, but she, unknowingly.
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know he's there.
Yeah, he hides in her little tiny cupboard.
Like this when he switches the door across.
He's a lazy shit, isn't he? He's always closing the doors with the Force.
No, he's just shot it himself. Anyway. So, there's a big fight that goes on. Anakin is mad at Padme because he thinks she's brought Obi-Wan Kenobi with her. Blah, blah, blah. They fight each other. He ends up getting burnt to a crisp.
To a crisp.
Like bacon. I bet there'd be a smell of bacon.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that
Well,
air.
human flesh famously smells of pork.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway. But he gets rescued by the Sith.
But, yep.
And he gets taken away and made into Darth Vader, basically.
Yeah.
And Padme obviously gives birth to 2 children, 2 twins.
Yeah.
1 boy, 1 girl.
The 2 best film characters ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get separated.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell which bits I remember because they were
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
it's quite a long film.
They go off and live their lives, and then the next film will be when they're 20.
In their they're adults anyway.
Yeah.
It's never said how old they are.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Evil prevails.
So you could
basically
say Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah. I did say that.
Yeah, that'll be a quick summarization of the plot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next time I'll be quicker.
I like it when you go off on a tangent. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked you to describe
Oh, and then
the plot.
she dies.
She does die.
And they have a funeral for her.
They do.
Padme.
Yeah. It's very sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
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 But what I think's a bit unfair, which you pointed out, is the fact that Luke Skywalker has to go and live in the desert.
Has to go and be a moisture farmer in a planet that still has slavery.
And she gets to be a princess.
She gets to be a princess, yeah.
Leia gets to be a princess.
When Luke finally rescues her in the next movie from the Death Star, she's been like a leader of an entire planet. And he is literally he's like still a kid, basically.
Yeah, she's like grown up.
All he thinks about is blasting womp rats with his T60 and going into Mos Eisley for power converters. That's all he wants to do.
That's all he wants, power.
Yeah, he's still got a little model spaceship that he plays with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe,
But
because he should be the same age as
Men
her.
are very immature.
She's cool.
Yeah, I love Princess Leia.
So, yeah, that's my plot analysis.
Well, we are
I think I'm getting better at them.
Yeah. they ebb and flow. We asked some of the other podcasts that we've been promoting this week from the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com what they thought about this movie. So here's some of their thoughts on Revenge of the Sith. I used to watch this podcast say it was the best of the prequels, but still had its problems. The lava planet fight scene was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a pretty good summation of the entire film, I'd say. The 80its, as in idiots. Yeah, that's a cool name for a podcast. My favourite part was when the credits rolled at the end. In my opinion, the prequels were unnecessary and poorly executed. My co-host and I will be debating this on our show next month. So tune into the 80its if you want to listen to them talk about the Star Wars prequels. Yeah. Well, they've given it away though. Yeah, because they've said they're going to be debating this, but they already think that they're shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I assume the tweet
Maybe
came
they're
from...
just doing double negatives.
Yeah, I assume the tweet came from only one of the hosts. Maybe the other host disagrees with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty boring debate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understood that reference podcast saying It claws back some of the franchise's dignity, but still has huge problems. Things pay off in ways we know they have to, but others conclude in ridiculous ways. Padme's death thing is so poorly done.
Aww.
I have to agree, Padme's death doesn't make much sense.
She dies of a broken heart.
Yeah, that's not really a thing.
It is a thing.
It is not.
I have seen someone die of a broken heart.
You've seen them die.
Yeah, but they were sad because their wife died.
What did the coroner give as cause of death?
Heart failure.
There you are. That's what they died of.
Oh, shush you.
What Should We Watch podcast said, it was a great addition to the saga that covered Anakin's fall from grace that had only been touched upon in the previous film. There were a few things in this movie that fell short, like Padme's character, but let's be honest, the battle on Mustafar is gold.
So, you know when they share the profits,
Yeah.
do they share them equally, or do you think if you acted a bit more,
Yeah.
then you get more profit?
Yeah. So, like, Chewbacca would get less than Luke.
10%.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be that much.
1%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Padme, she's in a lot of scenes. But what I don't get is, I would have it written in the clause, the fact that the previous films she acted in loads of the bits, and then just because she didn't act in as much of this film doesn't mean she shouldn't get as much profit as somebody else.
Cooking with Grace podcast said, to be honest, I wish it had been spread over 3 films. You could almost do away with the other 2 and the story wouldn't be much affected. Then there would be more time for better character and story development. Also, get rid of the no
Which bit's that again?
when he becomes Darth Vader. Were you watching this film?
Yes, I was. I was thinking of the bit where he goes, no, 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 no.
That's from Sexy Beast.
No, he does it when he's laying on the floor.
Oh, yeah. That was quite good, yeah. I agree with Cooking with Grief. The other 2 films are quite pointless. You could have just started with the Clone Wars.
Nah.
You don't need Kid Anakin. It's boring.
I don't know. I think the first one's the best one.
What? Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
That's fucking shit.
I was more entertained by it.
Oh, God. I think I'll have to divorce you.
I think the first one, this one, and then the middle one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the middle one's shit.
Yeah.
Donnie Roberts from Twitter says, a lot of people felt at the time Return of the Jedi was the worst of the original trilogy. But the film has so many moments that drive home the story and characters. Episode 3, though rushed, is peppered with character moments. It should have been episode 2. Also, Jar Jar brought the Empire to power. Well, yes, Jar Jar did do that, yeah. And finally, High Score 510 podcast saying, as long as Luke Skywalker ain't drinking Lorax nut juice, we can fall back on Jar Jar Binks' idiotic hijinks. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing that High Score 510 podcast didn't like The Last Jedi.
No.
Judging from that tweet.
No.
Yeah. Well, what are some of your highlights of Revenge of the Sith?
Oh, when Obi-Wan Kenobi jumps from that platform onto the other platform and goes, what does he say again?
Hello there.
Yeah. That made me chuckle.
Yeah, a lot of people like that. Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, when he's riding that little creature, the lizard thing, that's pretty cool.
It goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I would say maybe I like a lot of the scenes actually.
Oh yeah, like
the scenery
visuals
is really
are
good.
very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You're like, hello there, and
Yeah, and there's some of the scenes.
and the scenery.
Yeah.
Well, I've made a little list of things what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things I don't like, and things that are stupid. Firstly, in the title crawl, it says there are heroes on both sides of the galactic civil war.
I don't agree with that.
Oh yeah, who's the hero on the other side?
Because they're evil, aren't
There's
they?
only Count Dooku and General Grievous,
Yeah.
and they're both evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, George Lucas. You stupid old fool.
They should have said heroes on one side.
There are heroes
enemies
on one
the
side
other.
and villains on the other.
Or enemies. You have villains or enemies.
Yeah, if you can't spell out what's happening in a film any clearer than that.
Maybe that's what people were confused when it started.
Well, yeah, the fight scene, like the space battle, is like you say, it's quite confusing.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what's happening.
Definitely.
If you hadn't seen the other two films, you hadn't have a fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in the original trilogy, you can just watch any of them and you kind of know what's happening.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much Return of the Jedi, but you could start at Empire Strikes Back and know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's...
Yeah. I do like the opening though, with when they're on General Grievous's spaceship trying to rescue the Chancellor. They kill Count Dooku.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and rescue the Chancellor and all. There's lots of hijinks.
There's a very weird lift scene, isn't there?
Yeah, it's tonally a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute it's kind of joking, and then he's cutting someone's head off.
I mean, does R2-D2 get any of the money? Because technically he is a
You mean the
droid.
little person who gets pushed around in him, or the CGI character?
Oh, is there a person in there?
In the original films, there was.
Oh.
Some of them were remote controlled.
Not the prequels, though.
I believe in this film, he is entirely CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, he doesn't
No.
get any. Yeah. There's a lot of awkward dialogue,
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
and I can't remember exactly what bit it was, but there's a bit where Anakin receives some.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's when he's talking to Palpatine in his office.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm going to put you on the Jedi Council."
And he goes...
He does a Napoleon Dynamite face.
He's like, I don't deserve it, Master. Oh,
He's basically like, yes.
no holding him back,
Yeah.
is there?
It's exactly like Kit
And he
from
has a little
Napoleon Dynamite.
caddy, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, because they
Why
won't.
am I not a master?
They won't make him a master, and he says it's outrageous and unfair. I disagree. I don't think it was outrageous.
No,
and
he was
unfair.
too young to have that, and look what happened.
Yeah, the Jedi pick their own council members. They don't just let someone tell them who's on the council.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Palpatine
He was doomed to fail.
overreached himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I did have a little thought. They were like, Palpatine shouldn't meddle in Jedi affairs. I was like,
No, he shouldn't.
but then the Jedi are very unaccountable then, because they're like running this war. Are they
For the good
saying?
of the people.
Are they saying that the elected government should have no oversight on the way the war is being fought? Because that sounds an awful lot like dictatorship to me.
Sounds a bit much for me.
Yeah, it's quite a heavy discussion for this comedy podcast. But yeah, the Opera House scene's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good
Bit
acting.
Weird.
I like it though. It's
Those
good.
bubbles.
Yeah, stuff to watch the bubbles. There's a bubble show tonight,
Yeah.
and Palpatine and Anakin watch the bubbles together.
Yeah. And they talk about taking over the world.
Yeah. It is
Universe.
the show itself is essentially a large bubble with ribbons inside.
Yep. I couldn't hear much opera going on.
No, it's called the Opera House scene because
I wonder
it
if,
looks like an opera house, but it is basically a show with bubbles and ribbons.
Yeah.
Very odd. What kind of entertainment are they getting from that?
I don't know. Maybe it's times they sit there and contemplate life.
It's very relaxing. Yeah, maybe it's like a group meditation kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to that. Be nice.
Looked alright, didn't it?
Yeah, nice sitting there quietly. You can do that at Quaker meeting houses.
Don't take the mickey out of Quakers.
I'm not. I'd go to that. It's about the only public thing you can go to where people will shut the fuck up. Sure don't do it in a cinema anymore. General Grievous, he sends the leaders of the Separatists
Oh, yeah.
to Mustafar, which is a volcanic planet, and he says, "You will be safe there." How is a planet made of volcanoes a safe place to go?
Yeah, because it could explode at any point.
Yeah.
At any time.
A volcanic planet. That means a planet made of volcanoes. Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
That sounds like one of the least safe places to be.
That's like when they go, you should go to this hot desert place for work instead of going to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's really odd.
Both those places have their dangers, though.
What,
The safest
Caribbean?
place to be would be like Ruislip.
think I'd rather be in the Caribbean.
What, the Ricelip?
Yeah.
I've never been to Ricelip, but I imagine it's quite safe. Palpatine is awesome
Yes.
at all times.
He's like somebody who's seething underneath.
He's far and away the best actor in the prequels.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really like him.
He's able to express what he's thinking without
Without
saying
even
it,
saying it.
which no one else in the film is able to do.
Especially when he's like, yes, I've got you. And he doesn't say anything. It's just his little face is like, yes, I've got you.
Yeah. I'm being out of order to Ewan McGregor, who can also
Oh,
who can also express his emotions without going, I am very angry.
I do like the Sith Lord, though.
Yeah, Palpatine's the best thing in the film.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I always like to take the piss out of George Lucas's terrible direction, but there are some very, very good visuals, and the scene where he's contemplating whether he should betray the Jedi or not.
Is that where he
Where
cries?
he's crying and there's that is very good. That makes it.
That's when he decides to go dark.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of good visuals in the third film, and that's why it's far better than the first and the second.
Okay, then.
Yeah. That's what I think. Anyway.
I agree.
And then Palpatine zaps Samuel L. Jackson with lightning and says, "Unlimited power."
Oh, yeah. Then he turns into like a lizard, doesn't he?
That's his true form.
He's got a lizard face.
Yeah, and then he gets says my favourite line in all of Star Wars, which is, "Once more the Sith will rule the galaxy." That is just pure camp brilliance.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
He is very good in that scene.
Yeah.
And he says it very well.
Mm.
Like he's contemplated it and practiced it in front of the mirror a million times.
It's just like, it says it so slowly and evilly. It was just brilliant.
Yeah,
Once more. He's like Roz from Monsters Inc.
Oh, yeah.
I've got my eye on you, Wazowski.
Yeah.
It's very good. And then there's Order 66 and the temple scene where all the Jedis get killed. Is very heartbreaking.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, I was devastated when that happened.
I couldn't believe he killed those children.
Yeah, what the fuck? I think he's done a lot of child murder.
Yeah.
Sand people's children and now Jedi children.
Yep. I knew he was going to go bad.
And you get a nice line from Padme. This is how liberty dies. To thunderous applause.
That's when they're at the meeting, isn't it?
At the emergency meeting where there's a monster in a hood telling the Senate that he's taking over indefinitely.
How did no one realise?
Would this face lie to you? This scary monster face?
My lizard face. Oh, I've just spent too much time in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I've been You got Caribbean on the brain today, haven't you?
I know. I was just thinking that's the only way people might think why he's looking different.
Yeah, well, he'd been
Too much time in the sun.
He'd overexposed on the sunbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a fight. 2 fights. Lots of fighting. Lightsabers.
Yeah.
People
Lots
getting
of red, yellow, green lightsabers.
Yeah.
Blue.
People getting their legs and arms cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their own faults, really.
Yeah, it's sad when he says, "You were the chosen one.
Oh, yeah.
You were supposed to bring balance to the Force.
You were meant to be good.
Not leave it in darkness." Yeah, very good.
But then you wouldn't have had the next 3 films.
Well, you would, because it'd already been made.
He had to go bad.
Yeah, he did. But it's still sad to say. Because that's another thing that's good. That's good thing in the film. Is that, yeah, you know what's going to happen, but it's still sad.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, very good.
I just...
That's why I like this. I like this more than Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think it is my 3rd favourite Star Wars film.
Oh.
Oh no, sorry, I'm forgetting the new ones.
Yeah.
It's now my 6th favourite.
And it will very much dwindle.
5th. Because, yeah. Empire
Go
Strikes
on, then,
Back.
what's your first?
Empire Strikes Back's my favourite. Then A New Hope. Then The Last Jedi, Force Awakens. And then this one.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I like the one with Harrison Ford in.
Yeah. So, which is your favourite of the originals now? And also Harrison Ford's in The Force Awakens.
What are they called?
A New Hope is the first one.
Right.
Then it's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Then it's The Return of the Jedi. And then
I'll
The
have
Force
to
Awakens.
watch them again to remember which
You
one
will.
I prefer.
Okay, well, hang on, guys. We will get to the bottom of this mystery. Yeah. What's your favourite part of Revenge of the Sith?
Okay. So, I liked it when he jumped from the...
Hello there.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
However, my other favourite bit was probably where he was killing Samuel L. Jackson.
That is an awesome scene.
And he's just like, yeah, I think that's probably my favourite bit.
What's your favourite part of that scene?
Obviously
is it when he
where-
says, unlimited power?
Yeah, and then he's like sparkling.
Yeah.
Like,
Because, again,
getting
it's
him.
so much more great Ian McDiarmid acting there, because he's pretending he's weak, and then he's like, ah!
And then he gets him,
Yeah, fucks him right through the window.
kills him.
And then he says, once more, absolutely brilliant. That's my favourite part.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, ka-ching.
Yeah. Yeah. That or the little Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah. You have been giving this position.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yes. Who's your favourite character?
Oh. I like the evil man.
Palpatine. It's
Yeah.
hands down Palpatine.
He's so good.
Closely followed by Obi-Wan Kenobi, but yeah, God, Palpatine leaves everyone in the shade in this film.
He's so good.
He's so amazing.
He's charismatic.
Just every time the camera's on him, I'm delighted.
Yeah.
His face is conveying exactly what he's thinking at all times.
Yeah, he must have practiced a lot in front of the mirror.
Yeah, he's like flinging giant metal pods around and just flipping over and stabbing people. And
Brilliant.
manipulating people. He's just awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Palpatine.
He is my favourite.
Lord of the prequels. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he was in all films.
He's not in the rest then, is he?
He's in.
He is, but...
Yeah, he's not seen in A New Hope, but he's in Empire Strikes Back. And
Yeah, I was going to say, he
Return of
gets
the
the red
Jedi.
and black painted face at that point, doesn't he?
Oh, are you talking about?
They paint his face red and black, don't they?
No, that's Darth Maul.
Oh.
God's sake. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh dear. Anyway, crucial question: is Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
No.
Is it close?
Man.
Nah.
74%.
74. So you did like it more.
I did like
than
it
Phantom
more.
Menace.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that could only mean that A New Hope is better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. 'Cause
Nah.
A New Hope is easily better than Revenge of the Sith.
What I like about... I think what reminds me of the next three we're going to watch is they're very much like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they're like good space adventures. Nice,
Yeah.
simple stories.
Yeah.
There's none of this political intrigue and things like that.
Very
yeah.
simple films.
Yeah, there's goodies and baddies. They have to go on some sort of journey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much it.
nice, simple movies.
Yeah.
And then goodies always win, except when they don't. Yeah, well, that was Revenge of the Sith. It wasn't better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
I'm afraid
unfortunately.
not.
But we'll get there. We'll find that film.
We will.
We will. Definitely.
We may never, but...
I think we will. There's still ice sharks. Well, should we cheer ourselves up after that failure by calling someone in the past?
Who are we calling?
We've spoken to him before on our old podcast, but we're going to be
Right.
calling President Richard Nixon again.
Why are we calling him again?
Because on this day in history, November the 16th, 1973, Richard Nixon gave a speech at Disney World. So that sort of ties into what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
So I thought at first we could listen to the speech that he gave at Disney World, and then we'll give him a ring and see how he felt about it.
Okay.
And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
President?
Yes, sir.
Well, that was him finishing his speech. We best catch him on the time phone.
Righto,
Let's
righto.
fire it up.
Why are you handing me a fucking phone? I don't want to talk to anyone.
Morning, Mr. President. How are things going?
What the fuck do you want?
We just want to ask you some questions. We're from the future.
Oh, the future? Who sent you? Was it the feds?
No,
Go
the
on.
Brits.
Ah, the Brits, that's okay. Fire away, ask me a question.
How are things going then?
Oh, things are going goddamn terrible. I'm up to my ass in shit. I'm gonna go to prison, or worse. They're gonna take away all the money I stole.
Money you stole?
Money I stole? Things I did?
All right.
Don't worry, you're just the Brits. You can't do anything to me.
You just said you weren't a crook.
Well, that was my cover story. Only an idiot would say he was a crook if he was a crook. A good crook always says, I am not a crook.
So, are you a crook?
I'm so crooked you could bend line around me. All my money came from robbing banks. I'm straight gangster. I am the real untouchable.
You robbed banks?
Oh, sure. Me and my friend Charlie robbed a whole load of gold in Italy. We escaped in Mini Coopers and got away in a bus. It went over a cliff at one point, but I came up with a real good idea and we got away with it. Another time I robbed a casino by smuggling a Chinese acrobat into the vaults. I am a fucking criminal mastermind.
Have you, committed any more crimes?
One or two. Myself and 3 other former presidents have developed a perfect system for robbing banks in my local area. We do it in the winter time, and that gives us enough money to go surfing for the rest of the year. We'll never get caught, I promise you. Also, since I've been president, I've been stealing pieces of Florida every day for the last 4 years.
You're stealing Florida?
Oh, that's right. Every day a man from the White House flies to Miami by helicopter and fills a bucket with sand from Miami Beach. And then he flies back to my ranch in Cleveland and pours it onto that. Before you know it, I'll own all of Miami, and those schmucks won't realize it until it's too late. And I, Dick Nixon, am king of Florida. Oh, fuck. I've said too much. I hope nobody's listening. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh!
Oh,
I didn't get to ask him that last question, never mind.
yeah, you did.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions we had for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him
What were you going to ask him?
how much money he had.
Well, he wouldn't have told you that. I think he was starting to get a bit paranoid that we might have been from the authorities.
What, the FBI?
The FBI, the CIA,
FBI stands for...
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, right. I was thinking Men in Black then.
Federal Booby Inspector. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he was fun, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was very angry.
He was. I think he's under a lot of stress. You
Yeah,
know,
he's gonna have
worried
a heart
about
attack.
getting impeached. That's probably a bit like Trump is at the moment.
Ooh.
Yeah. I won't say too much because 63% of our listeners are from the United States.
Yeah, they might like Trump.
Some of them might be Trump fans.
Yeah.
We're not, but we don't really know anything about American politics.
No.
So that's why I'm going to say nothing about it. Well, that's more or less all we've got time for this week.
Yes.
If you'd like to talk to us outside of this, even though we're not talking, you're just listening. If you'd like to engage in a two-way conversation with us,
Yes.
you can speak to us on Instagram or on Twitter.
Yes, you can.
And
On?
our contact info for that is at RobinHoodPod.
Lovely.
You're on there on your own, aren't you?
I am. Francis Langhout.
Francis Langhout, yeah. You can also find us, message us, leave us a lovely review on the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com. And there's 40 great podcasts on there. We've added some promos into this episode for Pop Paw Review, Quick Bites podcast, and the Why I'm Single podcast. They're on that list as well, so don't forget to check them out. Those are free, awesome podcasts. So check them out on podchaser.com on the Pod Nation list. And remember that if you're still listening to us on the Pete and Fran podcast, then that will only be there until January. Although it does look like people are getting the message for that.
Yes.
Well, I say that, I'm like, oh yeah, no one's listening on there anymore. And then the other day, like, 16 people listened to
Oh, no.
Oh, where are these people coming from?
Oh, well, move over, switch over.
Switch over, go to any, excuse me, any other podcast platform.
Yes.
And you can find us here at the Robin Hood podcast.
And you can also email you, can't we?
You can email me. My email address is petelanghelt30@gmail.com. And Langhelt is spelt L-A-N-G...
H-E-L-T.
H-E-L-T. That's right. Yeah. So you can do all of those things, and you can find the Better Than Robin Hood podcast on all good podcasting apps. So a big shout out to everyone who's contributed to our discussion.
Yes, thank you very much.
A lot of those were other podcasts, so don't forget to check them out. They're all listed in the chat. I'll put them in the show notes as well. Yeah. Everyone's got a podcast these days. It's good, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Lots for people to listen to.
Lots of choice.
Yeah.
There are especially a lot of great podcasts on the Pod Nation list. I think I've said that once or twice.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. That's good then, isn't it? Thanks for all your input in the episode. Thanks for listening. Next week,
we
episode
are doing
4, A New Hope.
Yes.
Yes. A New Hope for all fans of Star Wars.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, big thanks, listeners. Some nice feedback this week. Lots of lovely downloads. It's all good. People are enjoying Star Wars season.
Yay! Everyone likes Star Wars.
Are you enjoying the Star Wars season?
I am.
I'm glad. Yeah, well, that's all.
it.
That's all we got time for. Love you.
Toodles.
Bye.
What's up, guys? You like movies? You like cleverly named cocktails? Then why don't you listen to Pop?
Pour.
Review.
A podcast where we review movies, all while drinking some cocktails. Join us every Monday as we discuss new movies, old movies, and everything in between. New episodes Mondays at 7 Eastern. Come have a drink with us.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.